where you are? What time of day is it? Or is it tomorrow? It might be tomorrow. Clear down that far south. I don't know.
How you doing there, Anito? Man, it's good to see you, buddy. All right. You know, I've been busy all day, and so I finally got wound down, and you know, my awesome wife, Miss Highboy, she says, you know, you haven't done a live stream in a while. And I said, yeah, I haven't. I said, you know, I could strike one up. And she says, do it. So I called Walter. I said, you want to do a live stream? He said, do it. So here we are. All right, we got a live stream. So let's see. We have Juanito, Walter.
There's Chuck.
There's Chuck.
Michael Schwarm. Hey, guys.
So we have a really interesting live stream. Walter and I both purchased the Lyman Mag 25, and this is the digital furnace. He has opened his and worked with it, and I'm going to unbox mine. And then once I get mine unboxed, and we're gonna listen to Walter. He's going to talk about this and just real world, real live. And you want to call some names off there, Walter? I'm gonna. While you're doing that and entertaining the crowd, I'm going to share some links over to Facebook.
Yeah. Hey, we got a bunch of guys showing up here. We got 14 on already. So we got Anito, we got Chuck, we got Michael Schwarm, we got Ryan Weishite, Kyle's here, Kyle Luss, Bullet for Brains, and Alan Gillum, and we got Calvin Noble, we got Dave Stein, Ken Thomas. The Reloader dude himself is in the house. Where you been,
Roy? Roy is in the house. I'm just I'm sharing all these links. So I got 4 groups to share them into, and we will be on our way. So what are you doing today, Walter? What do you got going on?
Well, I've been doing garage projects. I've started last week and some reorganizing things around in here and moving some stuff into storage. Stuff that hasn't been off the shelf for I don't know how many years is going to storage. You know, junk.
Yeah.
It's still good junk. Too good to throw out junk, but I'm not using it, so it's going into storage. And I bought a couple more of the Harbor Freight tool chests, and I turned one into my casting center, so it's got all my molds and my pots and all the other stuff in there that I use for casting. Another one I got to be my reloading center, so I took all of my die boxes off the shelf, put them into a big rolling cabinet, put wood surfaces on the top, and so I would have additional work surface there as well out of those cabinets. And tomorrow my tool chest stack is going to get taken apart and cleaned and put some new casters on it, and just, you know, general plinking around in the garage getting stuff done that's been on the procrastination list forever. So
I hear you, and I did that myself today. I'm going to come around and I'm going to I'm going to turn the camcorder. You guys take a look at this. So, okay, before I turn it, I'll just show you this. Let me move this really nice Mag 25 digital furnace.
okay.
So I want everyone to know, okay, we do have a sticker giveaway today, and I have a bunch of stickers from companies. This is awesome, okay?
Yes.
Well, I got a hold of Bravo Company USA. I love those guys. They're my number one AR-15, man. Any AR-15 that I could build, turn me loose, I would be getting on their website, ordering it up. And I have a few of their things stashed under the bench, but I'm not going to do a build till I got the money to finish it. And I'm waiting for UGE, Utah Gun Exchange, to go live stream, because I will. Man, once I can get a little bit of money and they go live stream, I'm going to do a ton of AR-15 builds. That's what I'm going to be doing. So anyway, I got this really cool package by BCM, Bravo Company. and in there was stickers, T-shirts. They sent my wife a T-shirt. They were so nice. And my wife, she said, "Man, that's some really nice T-shirt material. They really do a nice job on their T-shirts." And then they sent me posters, a ton of posters. And so I got the posters up in the background. And then, of course, I moved my Sierra banner down. Now, I got to show you guys this. Let me pan over just a little bit. Bear with me here. Does it look good, Walter?
Heck yeah.
I just kind of think that if you're going to have a show, you got to have a show. And so one of my subscribers, and I forget his name, I've got to research it, but they sent me this flag, and I integrated it, and so everything looks top notch. What do you think? You guys think that looks okay?
Looks nice. I know you got more components in that picture than any three of my local gun shops all put together.
Yeah. Okay, I got to tell you guys this. You know, I have all these bullets over here, and then I have bullets all down the top. Well, I did an inventory, and I have 8,000 bullets under the bench. I'm going to talk about that for.
You're almost out.
Yeah, I am. I'm getting short. Okay, I'm going to talk about that in just a moment, and we'll get into the Lyman. But first, I need a cup of coffee. You guys,
we got a few more guys here. Let's see. Steve Royer, Martin, Larivier is here. Plow, Vanessa Kitty, Chris Kerr. Got 28 on already.
all right, good. So first, I got to show you guys my cup. I made that, and yeah, all customized.
Oh man,
Yours truly, and of course 76 high boy reloading, right? And so I gotta have a cup of coffee, and it's a big cup. I mean, it's a big cup, right? Well, what's funny is when I went with my wife and my mother-in-law to ceramics, I was making the cup, and there's got all these ladies around there, and I'm making a gun cup, and I'm not shy about it. I tell them I've got a gun channel, and those ladies loved it, so that's really cool. So
beginning reloadings here. Troy Burdett's here.
hey, new guy, Troy Burdett. Everybody, welcome Troy Burdett. And in a minute, I'm going to call everybody off. And we got Mr. Johnny Boy Double Aught. Everyone, welcome Mr. Johnny Boy Double Aught.
Troy, okay, Mr. Johnny, welcome, guys.
I want to talk about something. And this is a little bit of my personality, but this is one thing I've always done. Some guys wonder how I get such a backstock of bullets. I've always been this way. If I always buy in boxes of twos. I don't like to buy a box and use half and save half. So I always buy in boxes of twos. Then I put one away and I use one. And I buy two, put one away and use one. And that's how I've acquired my backstock. And one day when I retire, I'm going to have something to do. So that's why. Oh, the other thing is I don't shoot. Just ask Reloader Dude. I don't know how to shoot, and I don't even know how to reload, right?
Right.
So, okay, I want everybody to sound off. I'm going to do roll call at the end. Walter's going to call you out, but right now I'm going to do roll call. I want to see who all's here. So I want everybody to type the word Lyman, and I will call you out. Lyman. They're the oldest in the business. They started the reloading. So, and we got Joe Rash, I see. Okay, we got Walter Bunning, the Reloader Dude. He says that's true. I don't know how to shoot. We got Martin, Chris Kerr, Charles Smeller, Plow, Joe Rash, Mr. Johnny Boy Double Aught, the Reloader Dude, Ken Thomas, Alan Gillum, Lev W, Brian Weissite, Hoghead 69. It's good to see you. It's been a while. The Reloader Dude. So we got Buzzfork. Yeah, I'm gonna have dishes to do when I'm retired. That's true. We got Chuck Best, Bullet for Brains, Calvin Noble, and I know we got some more coming on. So I'm gonna start pulling this in because we're getting real close to kicking this off.
As you shoot up those Oregon Trail bullets, save those heavy duty cardboard boxes.
Oh, I do.
When you start casting your own, those things stack so nicely. They're nice.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So we got Michael Swarm. We got Juanito, Calvin Noble. All right. So this is what our live stream is. I received in shipment yesterday my new Lyman Mag 25 digital furnace. In the description box below, there's going to be a few links. Now, 3 of those links are to my 3 Facebook groups. One's a guns, ammo, and bullet casting group. The other is a firearm cleaning group. The other is a chat group. So if you just want to chat, you want to talk about your 4-wheel drive, you can go to the chat group. But in the description box, you're going to find Lyman. Okay, Lyman Reloading. The oldest business in the business of reloading, okay? They're the pioneers. But if you go down to the Brownells link, you're going to see where this is right where both Walter and I purchased our Mag 25s. So now I'm going to open this. I'm going to open this bad boy. And it was kind of killing me today because I had things to do, but I really did want to just jump the gun and open this. But I wanted you guys to check it out. I didn't want to just like open it and go for it. And so here we go. Stop it. Stop it. Reloader dude, stop. Stop, reloader dude. He's like, bang, bang on the trigger. He doesn't know what stop means, okay? Okay, so we got various paperwork, okay? Operations and assembly, we don't need this. Reloader dude, you need this, okay? This is just for Roy, the reloader dude. I'm going to keep this. Whenever he gets online, I'm going to go, Roy, stop, okay? Okay.
Here's a nice reloading tool. This was back when Lyman was the Ideal Tool Company. The Ideal Tool Company eventually became Lyman. There was another step in there in between, but this is a pretty cool old tool. I think some of you guys have seen this before. This is an Ideal number 4 in 3855, and so it's got a single cavity casting mold, and then plus all of the die pieces, parts, holes, etc., to do the entire reloading job. So you can decap, size, and prime and crimp all with this tool, plus casting the bullet. Cast nice bullets too. The sucker does a good job. Anyway.
Okay. So I don't know what to expect here, but I will tell you this. There's a ton of grease in that. Was there a lot in yours?
Yep. The instructions suggest you heat that thing up with nothing in it for about 15 minutes to burn that stuff off, and they was right. That sucker smoked like a chimney.
Yeah, I bet it did.
Burn all that grease off, but yeah, don't.
It would be best to do that in your driveway. Oh, your neighbor's driveway.
Yeah, outside for sure, because there was quite a bit of grease in there.
Mm-hmm. All right. So comes out pretty easy enough. All right, so this is the bad boy right there. So according to Walter, he's already ran him. So the instructions are going to say that you're going to want to plug this in. What did you turn the temp up to on it?
It was preset at I think about 800 degrees, and I punched mine down to 750 because that's where I tend to do casting thereabouts, and it's easy to do. If you guys that are on the chat here, you can see the front face of the PID controller there on the left side of the unit, and there's 4 buttons there: a set button and an up, down, and another one. And that and everything else is already preset on this. You just move the up button to move the temperature up, set temperature up, and hit the down button to move it down. So pretty easy to set the temperature. what Highboy's doing there is the spout handle has to be attached, and there's a little weird little spring there that's flipping around that has to go in there, and that was a little bit kind of goofy to figure that out.
Okay. So I haven't looked at the instructions yet, but how does this go together? I'm going to lock this on so they can see what's going on here with me. How does this go together?
So let's see here. If I can get the camera on mine. I don't know whether I can get the camera on mine here or not. Yeah, it doesn't want to show it. It's too dark. But can you see that little spring under there?
Oh, wait. Let me get it back on you. There. Oh, okay, there.
So yeah, it kind of goes underneath.
Okay, I'm going to lock this on me here. You're kind of froze up, but I'm on the back side of this, so it's going to go in there like that. Am I missing a screw here?
Yeah.
I don't.
The big screw, you don't need to do anything right now. I mean, you might have to raise it up, but that's a limiter.
Yeah.
That limits how much you can open up the downspout, the pour spout, and the other little screw that goes into that, yeah, right there. Yeah. That's gonna grab a hold of your handle.
Yeah.
And
where was that at?
Is there a screw on your little post right there? Hang on. Let me switch my camera around.
I've got a snap-on wrench.
Yeah, come on here.
I'm going to put it to where they can see you as well.
All right. So that screw right there, you see that?
I don't have a screw.
Okay, is there a little parts bag or anything anywhere?
No. No. There's nothing on the floor, and I just cleaned my shop. I don't have a parts bag.
I don't remember getting a parts bag either, but there should have been a little screw right in there. And that's what holds the handle.
Hang on. Oh, on the bottom of the box.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Whew.
Good. Well, that was close.
Yeah, close call. Okay, let me go get an appropriate screwdriver. Hang on. Keep him entertained, buddy. Keep him entertained.
All right. When Highboy gets his set up, here's the original mold guide that comes with the Lyman, and you can see it's like a channel, and it fit in here. It fits in there like that. My Lee dies, or Lee molds rather, don't fit that mold guide very well. The little ones wobble around too much, and the 6-gang molds don't fit in there at all. So NOE makes an aftermarket mold that's very simple, with just a one-sided channel there. And so anything will go on there. The Lyman molds, of course, the Lyman molds work real well with their mold guide right there. And there's a couple good things about that mold guide. For one, they have a nice little stop right here that you can slide up and down so you don't run the mold clear out the back end of your pot. But NOE makes their little aftermarket mold guide very simple. Just got a couple little set screws that go in there to hold this thing in place. Let me get back here. There we go. And easy to use. One thing that I did find is that as I pull my mold out of here, every once in a while I'll pull it too fast, and I was starting to drip a little bit of lead right there on that shaft. and some accumulated on it. It was hard to get off, and then you can't move the mold guide left or right because you have to adjust that sometimes. So I took just a little piece of aluminum scrap that happens to be just the right size. Hard to do this with my hands tied up. Anyway, set that in there like that. And then any lead that drips down onto that, you can just tap that little piece of 90-degree strap there, and all that lead pops loose and just falls off of there. So anyway, looks like you're getting that figured out, High Boy.
Yeah, it looks like the screw head is facing the front, the user.
Yeah,
so we threaded in
correct.
from the front. Okay, where's this little wire spring go?
Okay, so look at it here on mine. Can you see it? It rides just underneath the handle.
Okay, I'm gonna let the guys watch me here. I'm gonna lock this in, and you watch me. Am I doing this right?
Yeah. So it goes in through that little channel guide right there. Then
There we go.
and then as you have that threaded, all that little spring does,
Yeah.
just kind of return the handle back up to the up position.
Yeah. Does everyone get that? Do I need okay, I'm going to ask a question. Does anyone need me to bring the camcorder closer? I can do it.
I don't know if I get around here, maybe the other side. It's kind of dark. I don't have any light over here. You wouldn't see it, so. Yeah, it's got a little bounce to it, High Boy.
Yeah, it sure does. Okay, Ron Bunch wants me to bring it closer, so I am. Let me turn it and let me bring that in. I don't really have a zoom on this like I would like, but I think that I can pull it off. Okay, so this screw right here, this was in the bottom of the box. That little screw. Okay. You see this wire? You need to line it up underneath like that. Line it up and then bring it straight in. And then start the screw and you'll just run it in. If you can't clear that hole, just line it up. There we go.
Got a couple more guys in here.
And then
Run. Who else ducked in here?
snug it up.
What off is in here?
Now, what's the snap-on wrench for?
Yeah. That's a really important piece of equipment.
Yeah.
And one of the things that it fits, is if you look at let me turn my camera around again. If you look right up here.
Let me get it onto you there.
Here's your adjustment screw right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that controls, obviously, if you look at it, it'll stop for the lever, and there's a little lock nut right there.
Yeah, it's for that little lock nut.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll probably never use it. That nut is pretty tight. The screw is tight in there. Maybe with time it'll loosen up, but mine's
Yep.
pretty snug fit anyhow. But that's what that little guy is for. And truth be known, that little wrench is pretty darn short and pretty darn dinky for you to use with gloved hands.
Yeah.
And it's aluminum and thin. It's going to get really hot really fast if they're trying to adjust it on a hot pot. So
Yeah.
I think that I might do something else with that, like throw it away and use a real wrench on it. But
here you go. It just goes like that. Okay. Okay. So you can tighten that lock nut down. All right. So, all right. So you're saying that this is pretty proprietary to the Lyman. Am I correct?
Well, you know, the manual that comes with it says that it'll work with the Lee molds. And here's how the fit is supposed to be. If you look at it, this is a Lyman mold.
Okay.
And it's basically a square end on that mold. And it fits that channel very snugly. It's really nice. But it doesn't work that well with the Lees. And here's what happens with the Lee 2 cavity molds. It's just too sloppy in there. See if I can get it.
Yeah.
It was too sloppy to suit me. It will work. You know, you can hold that mold over against one channel and slide it back and forth in there really well, but it does not work at all, at least to my mind, with a Lee 6 cavity mold. That mold is just too wide and it won't fit down in the channel, and it's not wide enough to glide over both of those beams at the same time. So who did I see this from? I think it was Mike over at Full Lead Taco did a review of NOE's mold guide, and I saw that piece of gear and I thought, yeah, that's an improvement, and it wasn't particularly expensive, but anyway.
Okay, Ron a bunch is saying, who makes that guide? I'll put the link to NOE molds. Really a really nice guy. Well, okay, so now I'll throw this out there. Okay. Walter and I were talking before this show. The Lee furnace is a 700 watt. This is an 850. So for one, I would say this is probably going to recover a little quicker than that Lee. Then I like the fact that I can set this at 700 degrees or 750, wherever I decide I'm going to be casting at, I can keep this there. And I would say if I'm keeping it to where I'm no less than, say, I'm just going to throw a figure out there, say 60% low in the furnace. If I don't let it get much under 60% low, I can probably keep adding my lead and give it a chance to recover. But because this is going to recover a little quicker, I'm not down long. Am I correct on that, Walter?
Yeah, I would agree. I tend to dump my sprues right back in the pot, particularly with the 6 cavity molds. That's a pretty big sprue, and you can break that and sprue off as one piece and just kind of, you know, turn the mold over right back into the pot and dump it back in there. Some guys prefer to put their sprues off to the side and put them all back in at once. But I put them in as I go, either right as I cut them or drop them off onto a tray. Let me show you this, what I do here. When I'm casting, I use a baking sheet. It's just aluminum baking sheet, and that gives me a spot to dump that sprue onto it that it won't stick. And then so I'll take a spoon and pick them up, you know, after I've got a couple of them there and drop them back into the pot. But yeah, you're right. You're going to recover quickly if you let that pot drop down to half or 2/3 of the way down, and then throw all your sprues back in there, or maybe another ingot or something to fill it back up. It's going to heat back up more quickly. I think.
Now I'm going to show the guy something. I actually did what Walter's talking about. I found it really interesting. He told me to do this, and I was already thinking about that. But this is the cookie pan sheet that I use for drying my cases on the tailgate of my truck and just doing things like that. But this isn't going to work. This has been in the oven so much it's warped. So
No.
I would suggest go buy you one at a say a secondhand store, or if you got to buy a new one, get one that's flat. I have my Lee furnace sitting on one, and it sits in there perfect, but it's flat. You don't want rocking. That am I right, Walter? We don't want rocking.
I don't think it would hurt much, but I'm kind of with you. I don't want stuff slopping around if I can avoid it. And this one that I have, I don't even remember where I got this, but I think I got it at a yard sale for $1, and it was good and sturdy. It's a real heavy duty one, and it works well. One other thing that we're going to notice about this pot that gave me a little bit of consternation. Look around the back there, Hi Boy, and point to the on-off switch.
You didn't have one. Yeah, I like that.
Didn't have one.
Yeah.
And I thought about that. And right in the directions they tell you, hey, turn it off by unplugging it.
I like that. Yeah.
And you don't really need a switch there. I could see maybe some guys may prefer a switch. In that case, get yourself one of the extension cord that's got a switched outlet and plug your pot into that so you can shut it off quickly. But I've never really had the need to turn the pot off when I wasn't, ready to put it away anyhow. So, and the cord does come off. That is another advantage to this one over the Lee. The Lee's cord is integral, and you can't remove it. This one, the cord plugs off. It's like a computer cord, probably what it is.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, you can take it off and get it out of the way. Yeah.
It's like a computer cord,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty neat. Okay, I think, for me, for now, for one thing, I'm on a budget. Man, getting set up in casting is not cheap, but I do like this, and I think that I do want to kind of venture with this using the Lyman molds. And I think for right now on my NOE molds, and I am looking at some Lee molds, I think I'm going to use those exclusively with my Lee. I got that the Pro 20 series. I think so. For now, I'm just going to leave this set up like this and just work with it the best I can. I'm kind of noticing. I see right here we have our up and down adjustment, and then I see inside we have our. I see we have our side to side. Am I right?
Well, if you look closely at the mold guide itself, that's a pivot point there that's on the side of it closest to you.
Okay.
And so it will move a little bit from side to side. And I didn't particularly like that. I would rather have the whole guide move left or right. That said, if your mold fits properly in that guide, if you have a Lyman mold, it's going to center up underneath there. But if you have somebody else's mold, it may not center too well. I don't know. I think if it was me, I was going to keep that mold guide. I'd drill that pivot out and elongate the hole and make it truly adjustable left and right so that the whole thing moves left and right. But and that wouldn't be too hard of a job. Have you tried the NOE molds in that mold guide to see if they fit?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I haven't done anything.
Oh, okay.
Let me grab them though. I got them pretty handy.
Oh yeah, duh, you're just unboxing it. How could you have tried it, shoved it through the cardboard or something?
Okay, guys. So the NOE don't fit. Too wide.
Just too wide. Yeah.
So that means if your Lee is loose in here, it's really going to be loose with the NOE.
Yeah. Another
right
option.
That right there would tell me I'll probably leave this setup proprietary for my Lyman. In my opinion, I'm just saying this. I'm not saying that NOE isn't a great way to go in Lee, but Lyman, they have everything that I would need to load for on my side, except one of the things NOE has, which is what this is the bullets mold. This is it doesn't have a drive band. I mean, it has a drive band. It doesn't have the lube grooves. So I do like that for the powder coated, but just past that, I think that I'll probably stick with running my NOE right off my Lee furnace, and just for now, until I get some experience, I'm just gonna leave that setup as is.
Yeah. Another option would be to find a way to cut one side of that Lee or the Lyman guide down, cut one of those vertical support beams off of there, grind it off. Well, you wouldn't want to mess up your grinding wheel doing that probably, but so that you ended up with something more that looked more like this NOE mold guide, so that you have a slider with just one side on it, so to speak.
Yeah. You're just saying remove one of the complete sides.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But like you said, probably the best way to go, till you get some experience with it, figure out what you like and don't like before you go out and finding, trying to change one thing and then realize you changed it for the worse.
In my mind, with this being set up specifically for the Lyman, I would think the Lyman's got to just be about as primo as it can be. I was looking at the molds that Lyman has. They've got everything I need. So if I went this route, that's not a bad route. And the thing that I found with the NOE, and I really like the NOE. This isn't a negative. It's just that this isn't cheap. It's a very high end cost. And I'm glad I bought them. Don't get me wrong. The Lee, very entry level, affordable, and if Lee will fit in here, that's not too bad. But the Lyman was right in the middle, and so I'm kind of interested to see how this is going to work for Lyman and the Lee. And then of course I'll use my Lee and the NOE on my Lee, furnace, and then I'll just have to get my feet wet,
Yeah. And let's see, Fuzzy Forkgate says that he's been casting for a long time and never used an electric pot, that he ladle pours. And I did for a long time too. Then I got a good deal on the Lee 420 pot, and I liked it. And I used to use just a thermometer to kind of monitor my temperature. And I did notice that if I let my temperature fluctuate too much, then my bullets were inconsistent as to weight. And once I started controlling the temperature a lot more closely, I started getting more consistency in bullet weight. So I like the temperature control myself.
Okay, and I was gonna talk about that since I was working with the Lee furnace, and I think the Lee's a great furnace. I do. Okay. But one of the things that I want to do is be able to set this up for that whatever temperature I feel is optimum to cast at, and just leave it there. I found that with my Lee pot, I was always having to, I don't know, okay, what I found with the Lee pot was this. At first, I was hunting all over the place trying to find that temperature, and I was like also pouring my lead ingots. But what I learned was this. To find the temperature on my Lee, I have to invest a little patience and wait. In other words, like to get it at 700 degrees, I would have to sit there and let it get super hot. And when it went over, then I'd adjust it down, and then it would go too far down. And then I just sit there and adjust it till I got it in. Once I had it at 700 degrees, then I just poured a mold or two that way. And naturally that drops the temp. Well, when you add the lead, that drops the temp. And that's where I just had to be patient. just leave it where I set it, and it would bring it up to 700 degrees. The problem I had was I was outside, and it was a little cold. So the colder it got, the more I was having to up that temperature, and then I lost where I wanted to keep it at. So I think this a little faster recovery, more obviously more wattage is more current, and so I think it'll stabilize a little quicker. So it'll be neat to see how this works out that way.
Yeah, you're gonna enjoy this pod. I think it's pretty straightforward and simple to use. As I said, the PID comes pre-programmed. I mean, there's a gazillion controls you can make with those darn PID controllers, and I don't understand 99.9% of them. All I wanted to do is let me set the temperature I want to cast at, and then have it keep the pot within plus or minus 5 degrees or so of that temperature. And this Lyman unit does that, and it comes already set up with all those other parameters dialed in so that it will do that. Because you can change that PID controller to say, hey, don't come back on until you're down 40 degrees, you know?
Yeah.
And
okay, so just so everyone knows, I don't have good lighting on this side. Everything's dark. Otherwise, you couldn't see this. But now when I look down, I realize that's a solid shelf. Now I understand what you're saying, how this pivots back and forth. Instead of this moving this way, it pivots. And I see that now.
Yeah, that's just a pivot point. And
Mm-hmm.
and again, if you know, with a mold that fits in that channel, then it's going to go in and out of there straight. But say you've got a 6 cavity mold, and you center it with that pivot point off 10 degrees.
Yeah,
So you're showing it 10 degrees.
You're gonna make a mess.
Yeah, and then by the time that 6th cavity is underneath the center, it may not be centered anymore. But anyway, I'm sure it'll work fine, and it clearly works with the Lyman molds. I use my Lyman mold with it same way you're going to. When I first got it, I thought, oh man, this is really a nice mold guide, because that Lyman mold fits in there nice and snug, slides back and forth really easily.
Nice.
But then I tried a couple other molds and it didn't fit, so I picked this.
Interesting. So Mike, of course, saying, hi, boy, let me know how it works for you. I just ordered one from Midway USA. Yeah, follow along. So I'm going to go video by video with this. And if I make a mistake, you see it. If I have success, you'll see it. Yeah, okay, I'm going to say something. Idaho Rogers was talking about, a meet and greet where he could come down and drop his trailer and meet us. No. You let us know where you're going to be, and we'll come see you. We can meet up at Boise Stage Stop, and we can have some grub. Boise Stage Stop, they have some of the best truck stop food you'll ever find. Very good stuff. So just so you know, you let us know. Do this, okay? Idaho Rogers. Just send me a email to there, and we'll exchange contact info so you have it. If you're up this way, we can do a meet and greet. By the way, I had 762 reloader, and then Chuck Best. Your stickers will be sent out shortly. I didn't send them off because of the holidays, and I was waiting for more stickers to show up for you. So they should be sent out tomorrow. And by the way, did everybody have a very good turkey day? We had a great turkey day. And then last night, my wife and I, we went to the BSU versus Utah State game, and BSU took it. Oh, man, it was a edge of your cedar.
Yeah, they needed a good win after getting thoroughly trounced by Cal Poly San Luis Obispo a couple weeks.
What's funny is I don't follow it at all. I don't really follow football, but if I was going to follow football, it would be at the college level.
Yeah, I don't watch any professional sports anymore, but when I was teaching school, of course, I did follow the high school kids, and I follow
Yeah.
my alma mater too. But
Nice.
that's as far as it goes.
Well, so I think, do you think we covered anything? Is there any questions out there? I haven't used it yet. Walter has. He'd be more of the hands-on guy. Are there any questions on the Lyman Mag 25?
I got to tell you guys this while we're waiting to see if anybody's got some questions here. That I think on one of the live streams not long ago, I was talking about how molds kind of develop personalities, and some of them seem to behave better than others. And I mentioned that I had one mold that I had labeled with a name that rhymes with witch. Well, I was using it to cast with the other day, and witch fell into the quench pot. Accidentally slipped the sprue handle, or not the sprue handle, one of the mold handles. It was on the 6 cavity Lee mold, my 9mm mold, and the handle came off and it fell right into the water and warped like a son of a gun. So
Oh no.
that girl, I pulled all the hardware off it, and the mold went into the trash, and I got a new one coming. I didn't like that mold anyway.
Yeah, well, it might have been towards your advantage, right? Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. It had a couple of bad cavities in it, and I just didn't like it. And
Okay,
it didn't like me, so so that happened.
This is what okay, I'm sorry, I'm reading comments here. Chuck Best says, how many bullets can you make in one pot? All right, now we can cover this every live stream, because the more you hear it, the easier it gets. There are 7,000 grains in a pound. So let's say you have 25 pounds of lead. I'm going to pull my handy dandy calculator up. I have 25 pounds of lead times 7,000. That's 175,000 grains. Now, how many grains bullets are you going to cast? Well, if you're doing a 115 grain 9mm, now you can, with one pot, you can cast 1,521 bullets. Okay. If you're doing 44 Magnum, okay, let me start over. 25 pounds times 7,000 gives us 175,000 grains. Divide that by 240. If you want to run a 240 grain wad cutter, I can do 729 bullets out of this 25 pound. Now, keep in mind, are you really going to always have 25 pounds in there? Are you really always going to use it from top to bottom? No. You're going to be maybe 90% full and use it down to maybe half. I don't know. But that gives you an idea of how you can calculate that. What I would say, tell me if this is logical or not, Walter. If you really want to put the pencil to the math, put the pencil to the math on your hard product. In other words, on your ingots. It's not so much how much can you cast here, because this is going to be an average to where it's full to lower, but how much lead do you have ready to cast? In other words, I have, let's just say on the bottom of my lead casting cart, I have 56 pounds. I have 56 pounds, okay? So if I have 56 pounds times 7,000, now let's just say, let's pull an arbitrary number, an average. And you can do it this way. If 9mm is 115, 44 Magnum is 240. Well, what's the middle? Mid-range here going to be, about 180. So divide that by 180 grains on the average. If you're sitting on 56 pounds of lead, you could do 2,177 bullets. So I would always do the math on how much you can cast on what you have in lead stock, what you have ready to go, and that's not your will weights. That's what you've casted. Does that sound reasonable, Walter?
Well, sort of. I mean, I have so much lead laying around. I know that I have maybe about 600 or 700 pounds of lead ingots floating around here one way or the other. But you can pencil out the math and stuff, it's probably not going to, in reality, come out quite like that. A couple of different things happen. One is your alloy that you use is going to change the weight of each bullet to a certain
Yeah,
extent. You're going
yeah,
to have some throwaways that you're going to get that they're going to go right back in the
hmm
pot. What I end
yeah,
up doing is as I look at my reserves and what I got, and I look at my 40 caliber bullets and say, well, I'm down to just a couple hundred. I better cast up some, and I'll just tell myself, well, I'm going to cast about 1,000 bullets today,
yeah. Right.
and then I will pull out the ingots that are pretty close to that amount. I know what my ingots weigh, for example, my 1 pound ingots, and I know about how many ingots. Then from similar math that you used, I put them in the pot, I melt them, and I get down to where I'm down to about my last quarter inch or so of lead in the bottom of the pot, and I stop casting even if I'm at 837 bullets instead of 1,000, and then I drain that last little bit back into the ingot mold and put that ingot away for next time. But that's kind of how it seems to work out for me. I never sit down. For one thing, you're not going to count 1,000 bullets. You know, you're not going
No.
to know where you're at until you're done with the pot. So I don't fill the pot all the way up. Almost never will I fill that pot all the way up unless I'm doing something like I want to make a whole bunch of a particular alloy. I want to make some Lyman #2 alloy, 90% lead, 5% antimony, 5% tin. I really don't do that very often. I used to use that alloy, but just as an example, then I might fill that pot all the way up to the top and cast ingots out of that. So I got a whole bunch of Lyman #2 ingots, and down under my bench, I've got a bunch of pure lead ingots. I've got some BHN 16 ingots. I've got some BHN 24 ingots. Some really hard ones in there. I've got some pure linotype ingots. So if I'm casting alloy to make ingots from, then I might fill that pot up. But other than that, I don't. And
Yeah.
I just tell myself, I need 500 bullets, and that's all I'm going to cast, and I'll throw 6 pounds in there,
Well,
or 7 or
and
something.
and I was throwing that out there as the next best step if you're going to figure it out, because in my opinion, knowing how many you can cast out of this is kind of it doesn't really matter, and I'll tell you why. It's because like right now, my Lee is about a third full, cold and hard, right? And so when I get ready to start casting however many I want, like Walter, on average, I'm just going to figure out, okay, how many pounds am I going to need for what I want to do? And for me, really, it's not going to be much right away because I'm learning. But once I know I want X amount of bullets, I just make sure I have X amount of lead, and then I go for it. Yeah, and I bet you kind of get good at judging it, huh, Walter?
Yeah, it becomes an art more than a science.
Yeah.
And so you kind of just, there's a lot of things that you develop a feel for. Temperature of your mold and melt is one thing that you do develop a feel for. You'll start to sense when your mold's getting a little too hot, and when you need to slow down or cool the mold. And a couple other comments came up here. Let's see. So where was it? Somebody mentioned. Oh, yeah. Fuzz says that when melting wheel weights with clips, as opposed to the stick-ons, he says figure out of 20 pounds, you're going to lose 3 pounds of steel clips. And it'll be even worse than that if you use range scrap. And that's really variable on how much you lose as you're melting range scrap. Depends on what percent of that was copper jacketed. I did like 30 pounds of it last week, and I lost about 25%, something like that, with slag and rocks that I'd thrown in there and jackets and other stuff. But out of a 20-pound pot, I did get a little over 15 pounds of good lead out of that.
Yeah, I see in the comments, Ron Bunch, I see on Brennell's they have two different power choices. If I'd have had a 220, I probably would have went with the 220. Very quick recovery time, but I think this is going to be more than sufficient for what I want.
Yeah.
Hey,
And
Westport is out of here. Have fun walking the dogs.
see you later, Fuzzy. And Reloaded Dead Dude says about 800 at a time is all he does. Yeah. That's kind of you're particularly with iron and steel molds, man. Those things get heavy. If you're in a 4-cavity mold, that's one advantage to the aluminum molds is they're a lot lighter weight, and that's one of the reasons for having a mold guide in the first place. You really don't need it with an aluminum 2-cavity mold. It's just nice to have. I mean, you can hold that mold under there and fill it without any guide at all. It's not that big of a deal. But you got a 4 or 6-cavity mold, and if it's an iron or steel mold or even brass, that stuff does get heavy. And even with the mold guide, after moving your mold in and out from underneath it there and using a sprue knocker of one flavor or the other, I use a nice piece of hickory to knock my sprue plates off, knock my sprues off, and all that stuff. You turn it over, shaking it, you're handling all this lead after, doing that 300 times or so.
Oh yeah.
You start to get tired, and so
for me it'd be more boredom than for me. I get, after a while I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it for X amount of time.
It's not going to get boring. Trust me. It won't get boring. Stuff's going to happen, and you'll find that you got to change things up. Your mold will get hot. You'll start, or the place where you're dumping your bullets onto will get full, or stuff changes.
Yeah.
And you might find yourself doing 150, 200 bullets in a row before you need to do something like dump your sprues back into the pot, but I never did find it boring. There's you're going to be fluxing your melt, and you're going to be stirring it. You got to get all that done in between casts as well. So,
Sergeant Sandman is saying Ron Bunch, the 220 would be more efficient if you already wired for it. Oh heck yeah! If 220 is always the way to go if you can go 220. Okay. Hey, I have an idea, but what's this plate for on the back?
That's just a mold rest.
Yeah.
That'll heat up, and you can stick your mold on that.
And it'll warm it, huh?
And kind of keep it warm. It's not going to do you a whole lot of good to warm it up initially. And starting with the warm mold is a big deal. This is what I use: $10, $9 or something at Wally World.
Yeah.
And I lay my molds on there on just a very low setting, and get them up to about 250, 300 degrees, and then start casting. You can heat the mold first by laying it across the top of the pot. You can heat them. I've seen guys heat them with a torch. I don't know about that, but using that little hot plate works best for me. And you can set your mold on there while your pot is melting. And, it makes a big difference if that mold is already warmed up. Otherwise, you're gonna have 4, 5, 6, maybe more moldfuls of bullets that you got to dump back into the pot that you're just casting to get the mold hot. But
yeah, I got you. Very good. All right. Well, good stuff.
Reloaded says run 2 molds if you get bored. It'll fix that.
Yeah. My father used to run 2 molds on everything.
I have done 2 molds before. In fact, some of the bullets that I shoot a lot of, like 40 Smith & Wesson, I've got 2 6-cavity molds for that, and you can run a bunch of those. But if I'm reading the Reloader dude right, he's talking about maybe 2 different caliber molds, and then that'll keep you busy.
Yeah, that's how I would do that. My father had 2 of everyone, and he would just sit there and go and go and go. If I was going to do 2, I would have 2 different calibers, one to the left, one to the right, and yeah. But I think for starting out, I just better keep it with 1 mold and a 2 cavity, right, Walter?
That's a good way to start. I got a couple molds in here.
Yes, you do. Here, let me lock it on you there. You can show the guys. Let me get it locked on.
All right. Lot of molds. And these guys over here, these are all Lee molds. So I use a lot of those. And then these are my Lyman molds. I keep them separate for no
Why?
particular, I don't know. Just because.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah.
You have to keep those Lyman molds greased if you don't use them for a while.
I rub a little ballast all over them. They will rust. And that's another advantage of the aluminum molds, obviously. And I know some guys, in order you really don't care too much about the outside of the mold other than for aesthetics if it gets a little rust haze on it, but you don't want those cavities to get rusty. And I know some guys that leave their molds full at the end of the casting session. I'm not sure that's necessarily a good or bad idea. I think that if you do that, I mean, the idea being that you leave the cavities full of lead so that they won't rust. But I think that lead, after a while, shrinks a little bit and pulls away from there anyway. But so I take the time and wipe a little ballast all on there, and then I just burn it off before I start casting. You know, your first couple casts will get rid of that.
Right on. Well, okay. So, what do you say we do a sticker giveaway? Okay. I'm going to show what we have for stickers. Okay. And I don't even know what I'm going to ask yet. I'm going to ask a question. I'll think about the question. Okay. This is what I have for stickers. I have a Ruger. There's a bunch of them, but we're going to throw a Ruger in. We're going to throw a Starline in. Was Sierra awesome or what? I love these guys. These guys, they're great. You know, I've contacted companies to see if they would, donate stickers, and they want $1 a sticker. I couldn't do that. Okay, Odinworks, very awesome. Okay, Bravo Company. Okay, I have some inline fabrication. These are really cool ones. Okay.
Yeah.
Right there, and then I have some Reading stickers. So the reason we do these now, how I'm going to always do the sticker giveaways, they have to be small enough we can get in a little envelope for one stamp because we don't have much of a budget, but we can afford. Mrs. agreed. Hey, we can afford a stamp, like a stamp a week, right? So, we'll just put one sticker per company. So you'll get how many stickers here? 7 stickers, okay? And I'm going to be reaching out to more companies. We're going to see if we can get them sending a lot of stickers. So we'll make it kind of interesting. All right. So I'm going to think of a question here. Walter?
Sir.
I'm going to Facebook you a number, okay? Can I do that?
Yeah.
I'm going to just type a number. And now, Walter, but don't tell anyone. No, it's not 3. Okay, everybody gets one chance. I just emailed Walter a number. I PM'd him a number through Facebook, okay? And what I'm going to do, I'll take a picture of that number with my phone, and I'll show it to everyone so you know we're being legit. So when I tell everybody to give your answer, and don't do it yet, Don't do it yet. Okay. I want everyone to type your number. The first person to get this number will win the stickers. Okay. So have you seen the number yet, Walter?
I have the number.
Okay. So here we go. This number is between 1 and 20. Okay. Watch the comments, Walter. The first person to get this number will get the stickers.
Okay, I got some lag, but they should still come in the order here.
Yeah.
Okay, seeing some numbers. I haven't seen the right one yet. I haven't seen it yet. Haven't seen it yet. Haven't seen it yet. Idaho Rogers, U.S.
Idaho Rogers, United States Marine Corps. He got it. It's 11. Okay. I don't think I need to do a picture. Okay. Obviously, both me and Walter were on it. So, okay, Idaho Rogers, at that email I sent you, send me your name, shipping information, and phone number, and we'll get those sent out. And we'll talk about maybe we can meet for dinner sometime. So, okay, so Jay saying, dang it, hey, I'm gonna have sticker giveaways every week, so don't worry about it. Reloader dude, he is so optimistic. 24,645. He is.
That was close, Ron.
Hey,
Roy,
Reloader
that
dude,
was close.
Reloader dude, I am gonna keep this. You get out of hand all the time. Okay. All right.
Hey, I'm sitting here with this brand new tool chest for all of my reloading stuff. You know how many stickers I got on it?
How many?
None. Just saying.
Oh, well, don't you guys think that I should hook Walter up with some stickers? Okay. In order for me to send Walter stickers, I want to, who thinks I should, who thinks I shouldn't. If we get more no's than yeses, then Walter doesn't get any stickers. But if there's more yeses than no's, then he gets stickers. Is it a yes or a no? Come on. Come on.
I mean, just look at this brand new, nice green tool chest that I got here.
I don't know. Sergeant Sandman said no, boy.
Come on, Sandman. How long have we been pals anyway, man? You guys are curtain. Where's the love?
We're gonna do it. We will send you some stickers, brother. That's great. I love it. I do. I love
Martin
it.
says, yeah, I bet he's been storing my stickers. No, they're all over my other tool chest. They're just none on my reloading tool chest.
All right.
Most of my stickers are motorcycle stickers, and they're everywhere. But
yeah, Johnny Mac saying the Reading will match very well with that. Yeah.
Yeah, it will. Or RCBS and Reading. And
I should have got the green, but they didn't have it. It just had the black one, which is fine. I mean, the black's just fine. But
yeah, this particular one comes in, I don't know, all kinds of party colors. The other couple that I have only came in black, but I saw the green one, and it comes in Lyman orange and in Lee red or Hornady red, I guess. And they have a blue one. You can get a blue Dillon color.
There you go.
Kind of a nice chest. They had this one on sale. This is $189 on sale. And it's a nice chest. They're good to go. I like these U.S. General chests.
Oh, I really like mine. Yeah. Okay, so okay, so I think that's pretty much it. So, any last questions before we kill it here?
Sergeant Sandman's still not on board, man. He's saying, hey.
Yeah, he said, I don't get none. Nobody gets none. He's got it right. He's got it right,
I'm going to remember this day, Sergeant.
Just think, Walter might send a bullet your way. You're going to win a bullet. Just one.
Crap. crash and burn.
Okay, so Chuck Best is out. What do you say? Everyone, I want you to type the word Lyman, and Walter will call you out. We'll go ahead and we'll bring this live stream, wind it down. And
all right. Chuck Best is out. See you, Chuck. Okay, Tim Pace is out, and Stanley Hammer's out. Sergeant Sandman's out. Ron Bunch is out. Dub the Kid, I didn't even see him come in, but he's out. Martin's out. JJDW is out. Floyd Hicks is out. Idaho Rogers is out. Vanessa Kitty out. Stephen Royer out. Mike Force One out. Sio Collar's out. The Reloader dude is out. Mr. Johnny Boy Double Lot is out. Hanito is out. Andy is out. We ended up with 35, 40 people on here at one point.
that's awesome. Very good.
Yeah, for a spur of the moment. Calvin Noble, he's out about 5 ways.
Yeah, he is, man.
And for those of you guys who came in late, you're not the only one who were surprised by the live stream tonight. Highboy called me up and says, "Hey, let's do a live stream and unbox my his new lead pot." So yeah, the Reloader dude is in. Yeah, somebody stop him.
Stop it.
In for pie.
I'm keeping that. That is awesome right there.
Reloader dude, I got your pie right here, man, coming at you. There's pie for you, Reloader dude.
Yeah, yeah. That's pie right there. I love it.
It was math night earlier.
Okay, so Thursday night, Greg Morrow and I should have a live stream. After tomorrow night, check back on the website. That's in the description box below. I'll have it posted at the bottom. And so you'll see that Thursday night. I'm not sure of the time, but just it'll be a really good one. So there we go. Okay, I think we got it. All right. We are, oh, hey, for those that don't know, join the Facebook groups. The links are in the description box below. Go down there, join all 3 of them. One, the first Facebook group, it's the reloading, guns, ammo, and cast bullets. You got questions, or you want to help someone, or you just want to talk about that? That's that group. The other one is the small arms firearm cleaning group. Then the other one is the chat group. So all you guys, you're getting to know each other, you want to go there and chat, and they're closed groups, right? And I don't allow the swearing and the harassing. So if someone comes in and wants to duke it out with you, my mods, Walter's one of the mods, we just get rid of them. They're gone. So go over there and join those groups. And Miss Highboy's in those groups. You can chat with her. And okay, so there we go. Okay, here we go. We're out in Desad just came on. Okay, Desad, sorry, we're just ending it. Okay, we are out in 3, 2, 1. God bless. We'll see you on the next.